Hello there, welcome to Johnny's Prime with me, Razak Musbao. The bulletin is live from our studio here in Kokomimle, Accra. Also on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. And coming up in this half-hour package, part of Accra flooded after hours of rain. We've got details. Also, Ghana recalls 2 more cases of Mpox. We've got more on Johnny's Prime as the Ghana Health Service gives more updates. And also, Abossey Okai spare parts dealers ask members to reduce prices of goods to reflect the current Cedi appreciation. We've got this and more coming up on Johnny's Prime. Please do stay. Now to the details now. And parts of Accra have been flooded after hours of rain. Areas like Ofanko-Baria and the Malam-Kasso Highway have been inundated, causing vehicular traffic. The Ghana Meteorological Agency earlier warned that cloudy conditions with thunderstorms and rain of varying intensities were seen over most areas in southern Ghana. The Met also says the northern sector will experience mostly cloudy conditions with isolated thunderstorms with or without rain tonight. Mist or fog patches are expected to form along the coast, forests and mountainous areas on Monday morning. Also, Ghana has recorded 2 more cases of Mpox. A statement from the Ghana Health Service reads, stating that the National Public Health and Reference Laboratory has confirmed 2 more additional cases of Mpox, 1 in the Greater Accra region and 1 in the Western region, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 4 as of today, the 18th of May, 2025. The statement continues that preliminary assessments indicate that these 2 newly confirmed cases have no epidemiological link to the earlier reported cases. The government of Ghana remains committed to safeguarding public health, it assures, and it concludes with a statement that drawing on our experience in managing similar outbreaks, we will continue to implement appropriate measures to protect the health and well-being of all residents. Now, for more on this, we've been joined by Dr. Oliv, who is the director of Ghana Center for Infectious Diseases. Doc, thank you very much for joining us on Johnny's Prime today. Give us a little more updates on what has been recorded as far as the Mpox disease is concerned.
So, good evening and thank you very much. Like the press release said earlier, we recorded 2 new cases. And I must say that these cases are not linked to any of the previous cases. Another one in the Greater Accra region and 1 also in the Western region. All these cases are separate and not linked epidemiologically from the previous cases. I must also add that the case in the Western region is currently on admission and doing very well. The case in Accra is mild, so it's currently at home and we are monitoring on OPD basis.
Doc, in terms of preventive measures, what can the public do to, try avoid contacting this disease?
So remember that we've been saying that monkeypox is a contact disease. You need to come into contact with the fluid from one of the rashes that an infected person has. If anybody hasn't got monkeypox or there's no rash, characteristic rash, you will not be exposed to monkeypox. The key thing is that we do not know who has monkeypox or not until the rashes have come out. Sometimes we touch different objects that we don't know who touched earlier on. So the key thing will be the general population. The best we can do is to continuously wash our hands with soap and water, hand hygiene. And also for anybody who has a rash for which there's no explanation for, with a fever, please report to the hospital. And then we will see you in the hospital. As much as possible, if you have a rash, we will say you should cover that rash. maybe wear a long sleeve, wear trousers, so that if anybody is sitting close to you, maybe in public transport, that person will not be infected. As much as possible, if you have a rash you are not too sure of, try as much as possible not to mix up with other people. That is also important. All of us need to be each other's keeper in times like this. We do not need to panic because we have handled monkeypox and most of our cases have been mild. None have passed on so far. So the general population just needs to relax, just follow the lay-down procedure. Once you have a rash, make sure you cover that rash if you have to even get to the hospital. Thank you.
And Doc, just finally though, talk to me about the risk involved for the general public, especially for the individuals who have contacted this disease so far.
So I must say that almost all the people who are infected at the moment, those who have contact, we have linked up with their contact. We are following up with their contact. At the moment, none of their contacts is showing any symptoms or signs of the disease. So we all need to just relax and we'll keep updating the populace about what is happening.
Dr. Oliv Okai, thank you very much for your time on Johnny's Prime today. Well, away from that, the Abossey Okai Spare Parts Dealers Association in the Greater Accra region is asking its members to reduce prices of spare parts in response to the recent appreciation of the Ghana cedi against the US dollar. Leaders of the group say this will bring some relief to customers and support government effort to stabilize prices of goods and services across the country. Let's engage the Director of Communication for the group, Cedi, now for more on this, call on their members. Cedi, if you can hear me, thank you very much, Mr. Cedi, for joining us on Johnny's Prime. First of all, how have your members been receiving this call that you put out to them?
Well, let me say good evening to your viewers. Yes, the statement just came out a couple of hours ago. So if anything go by, it will take effect tomorrow going. But probably some of the components are going down gradually, even though some of the parts are going up. But we are still talking to them. That's why I'm saying that we are just pleading. We are not forcing them because we've lost a lot of money during the cedi dollar differential when the dollar went to 16 to 17 cedi. So we are now recovering. In these circumstances, dollar now is coming down, cedi now is going up, dollar now is coming down. Because in Nigeria, for instance, I went to last week, I changed $1,000 equivalent to Naira. That was 1.6 million Naira. So bringing that money back to cedi is 18,600. So clearly, our cedi is performing. The Ministry of Finance, Dr. Tefosi and Bank of Ghana, they are performing. The government itself are doing well. So we applaud them. They should continue to at least to stabilize the economy and to stabilize the dollar so that our import duty will be reduced and reduce your goods and services, it will come to an end. So what I'm saying is from tomorrow you hear a little news, some of the parts are coming down. Prices definitely it will come down.
Just specifically, though, how much, in terms of percentage, will be enough for you? How much, in terms of percentage, if they reduce, will satisfy you?
I must be honest with you. We are not giving any percentage yet. No. That one, I must be honest with you. We are not giving any percentage. But what I'm saying is, prices of spare parts will come down from tomorrow going. At least. How
much do we expect? How much do the public expect? How much in terms of percentage? 10%? Can you give us an average of how much we are likely to see reduced at the market?
For instance, shock absorber, 2009 model, the brand new is 1,000 cedis. You can get it at least 700 or 800. That's the thing. So we are not giving a percentage. Maybe it will be more safer side than to give a percentage. Do you understand? So clearly, what I'm saying is, spare parts from tomorrow going, you see the prices coming down because the drivers they're supposed to reduce reduce what is it called the price non-fair, but they are saying that because of spare parts, that's why they can't do it. So what I'm saying is that this is saying that from tomorrow going, spare parts prices will come down so that it will compel the drivers to also to do what to adjust their non-fair. So everybody will be released because the dollar is coming down. Dollar is coming down. The projection probably by the end of this month it will go more down more than what you expected, either 10 or 90. So I think from tomorrow going, surplus prices will start going down, and to bring a relief to all the needs.
Mr. Techi, thank you very much. He's the Director of Communications for the spare parts dealers at Abossey Okai, joining us on Prime News. But continuing now, and residents of Bogoso and Prestea are feeling the impact of the shutdown of the Bogoso-Prestea mine that once sustained their livelihoods. Workers have gone months without salary, and the community is now pleading for government's intervention. Thalia Kwanzaa brings us this report from Prestea.
The once thriving mining communities of Bogoso and Prestea now echo with silence. The gold may still lie beneath, but above ground, hope is wearing thin.
Most of the local contractors, local suppliers that were working with the mines. Now we have gone in for so many loans. Bankers are on our neck. They are seizing our equipment. They are seizing our assets. So we call in for the minister to come to our aid, especially when the government is saying resetting. Now the company has been down, getting to 2 years. So we call in so that the government will hear our voices and come and reopen the Prestea underground and Prestea surface mines. When we were in operation, we were able to employ like 700 workers from the catchment area.
Over a year, hundreds of mine workers have gone without pay. Their families are struggling, local businesses are collapsing, and the town that once gleamed with promise of gold now finds itself buried under frustration and fear.
As we speak now, employers are suffering. The money they are supposed to pay to the employers have not been paid. We were promised 2 months of basic salary in December 13th. As of now, as we speak now, 30% of the workers have not received that 2 months salary. Each Go First owes us an amount of from 2023 to 2024 salaries. Because when you take over a mining, you take over the assets and the liabilities of the company. So you know all these things, and you took over the operation. So we are asking, where is our money? We want Each Go First to come out to tell us that this is our money. We want Each Go First to tell us that this is the money we are going to use to invest into the operation. As of now, they've not invested anything into the operation. We want them to invest in the operation to re-operationalize the mine. As we speak now, the underground has been flooded. As we speak now, tailings has overflowed. As we speak now, there's nothing going on at the plant side. All the activities there are shut down.
Desperate for answers, the community and workers petition the Western Regional Minister, Joseph Nelson, urging government's intervention to bring the mine and their lives back to life.
Nipa 600 permanent staff 613 no. Almost 13 pe. I to momo ori obika. O kasa ni afọ ni amount. Pay. O ko kasa pe ni charge o. Yesu ye ofa edwuma minister school. I don't know how you manage 18 years. The music because I didn't pay la konimu. Some music in Amami, now you want to also cry.
The minister described the mine as lifeless and unproductive, a sharp contrast to what it used to be, a vital employer and economic engine for both Bogoso and Prestea.
Now, the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Community Water and Sanitation Agency, Sahaku Nuhu Putia, has assured the people of Tumu and the Sisala East Municipality of the Upper West region of plans by the agency to soon fix water challenges in the area. Residents of Tumu have for some time now grappled with the lack of potable water, especially from their pumps. Rafiq Salam reports from Tumu.
Tumu, one of the fastest growing towns in the Upper West region. This sprawling, beautiful town located in the eastern corridor of the region and a gateway to neighboring Burkina Faso is overwhelmed by its increasing population. Social services have been stretched to its elastic limits, threatening its security. One of those services is the water supply system. Water supply to the town over the years has been erratic despite efforts by the government through the Ghana Water Company Limited and the Community Water and Sanitation Agency to fix it has not yielded the desired results. The erratic power supply by the VRA Netco is an affront to the speedy and smooth operations of the supply of water by the water companies. As a result of that, water is being rationed here. A resident of Tumu, Issa Canton, explained further.
For instance, yesterday, Naminjan Lowo was supposed to have water on Tuesday. The water didn't flow. Thursday too, they were supposed to have water, but unfortunately, it didn't. Only for it to flow just yesterday for some few seconds, minutes, and it went off because of power fluctuations. And of late, these days, we have a lot of power fluctuations. Any little storm, or even, we don't really know whether it's the storm or whatever, the lights goes off. And we've been told that once lights goes off, they have to reschedule or repump the water into the various pumps to be able to distribute to the various sections for them to have water.
Also feeling the pinch of the scarcity of water in the township is Haji Lubaba to Isa. Though she has drilled a mechanized borehole for domestic purpose, but has not been forced to turn it into a commercial venture.
The water is not flowing regularly. At times, even because of the borehole, we are not getting water. Unless 2 weeks, 3 weeks time that they will open the pipe. Even when they open it, it will not be flowing like how it will flow, that everybody will get water. So at times it's difficult for us to get water, even because of this borehole that is helping us small.
The unstable or unreliable water supply in the township has resulted in yellow gallons, popularly known as Kufuor gallons, and other undescriptive water containers, snakes, daily in front of private mechanized boreholes. Assembly member for Namibian electoral area, Bangiluri Abu, owns this washing bay. The erratic water supply in the area has forced him to devise other means of being in business.
We normally buy the water from those who dug their own boreholes and others. And normally a day we will buy about twice in a day to be able to wash the machines.
So how much do you buy?
At least a tractor is about 150 Ghana cedis. A full tank. A full tank is 150 Ghana cedis. Definitely, the profit margin there, we can't talk of that one. But we also need to serve our people too.
I will take a quick break and we'll be back with more. Please do stay. Hi there, welcome back to Johnny's Prime. Now, Narcotic Control Commission is scaling up its quest to bring down a complex of web illicit drug business. NACOC says it is ready to build its first training school to equip staff with relevant knowledge and skills. Director General of Narcotic Control Commission, Brigadier General Maxwell Mante, says the war on drugs will protect the future of the country. He disclosed this at Akwemuhini's Palace after visiting the site for the training school at Abossey in the eastern region.
The Narcotics Control Commission's training school at Abossey in the Sojaman district of the eastern region will be the Commission's first ever school. It will equip staff and recruits with relevant knowledge and skills needed in Ghana's fight against illicit drugs. The training school project at Abossey has the backing of traditional authorities in the area and will be sited on a 145-acre land gifted by the traditional authorities. This comes after years of having its personnel and staff trained by the Ghana Navy. After visiting the site for the project, Director General of Narcotics Control Commission, Brigadier General Maxwell Mante with his team, paid a courtesy call on Paramount Chief of Akwemu Traditional Area, Odinho Kwafu Akoto III. He urged the Paramount Chief to join the fight against illicit drugs due to its negative impact on the youth.
Last week, be found Crofobi we decide nobody who be a Juba. Be found Conkranga, a bang the one did.
A few days ago, we picked up 3 persons at Atimpoku who are part of a suspected drug trafficking ring. I will plead with you to use the position you occupy and authority to join forces in educating the youth on substance abuse. We carry out our mandate as expected through arrest and later arraign them. When found guilty, they serve jail term to be reformed. However, we would want you to be part of the preventive education in your area. This is to help avert a situation where the youth on drugs and drug cartel take over the country. Paramount Chief of Akwemu Traditional Area, Odinho Kwafu Akoto III, was excited for Narcotics Training School to be sited on their land as part of their contribution to the fight against illicit drugs.
Sania wama nipa benya pomudimpa na won afisa suban boni ho wasandruya.
Per your mandate, you are helping prevent substance abuse, which has severe consequences on one's health. We appreciate the critical nature of the role you play in the country. I must admit that drug abuse poses a big threat to the well-being and potential of the youth. We welcome the decision to site your training school here. We are ever ready to release more land should you need it, so the training school could be established.
Now, the European Union is seeking to equip health practitioners with the resources and knowledge to prevent an epidemic of non-communicable diseases in sub-Saharan Africa. The project also intends to reduce the disease burden on the already ailing economy of countries in the sub-region and ensure a healthy citizenry. Fred Kwame Asare brings us a report from the consortium meeting of the trainer workshop held at the University of Health and Allied Sciences.
Sub-Saharan Africa has been identified with increasing cases of non-communicable diseases and child health issues. This development is largely attributed to lifestyle among other factors and identified to burden the health sector in the region. It was in this vein that the European Union initiated the capacity strengthening of transdisciplinary education for non-communicable diseases in West Africa project. As part of the project, 6 courses would be developed and embedded into the curriculum of the University of Health and Allied Sciences, University of Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, and the University of the Gambia. Dr. Kirsten Clipston Grubish, who is the Vice Chair of the Global Health Center for Health Sciences and Primary Care, is the facilitator of the project.
An important part of that is, of course, also look at financing, at health financing, and it's also then part of the courses. And as we are having so many intervention programs that are already taking place or that are planned, it's very important to also contextualize and to look at how can we make sure they are really reaching everybody and they are also then achieving that disease is much better controlled. And as part of that, we are all very interested, of course, also using modern technology. So an important aspect and also of those courses is to specifically look at how can we use modern technology.
Professor Paul Anuma of the University of Health and Allied Sciences shed light on the short and long-term goals of the project.
And the first and the most important is to build capacity. And so we target to train 50 teachers at higher education level as a first step. And these teachers would then also train others. Not only that, we are also introducing an innovative teaching and learning strategy. That is what we call the challenge-based learning.
Well, that's where we draw the curtains of tonight's edition of Prime News with me, Razak Musbah. We've got more stories for you on myjoyonline.com. Thank you very much for your company.